So I got a message the other day on Instagram by a guy with Pectus Excavatum asking me why I don't want surgery and if I ever got a Haler index, which is the index that determines how deep your Pectus Excavatum is. They say anything above 3.5 is potentially harmful and could use surgical repair. So I'll answer those questions. In any case, he made me feel like in a way where, I needed to get this Haler index, which I really don't, and I'm not going to. So here's my reasons why. First off, when I was about 17 years old, I went to the hospital looking for surgery for my chest because I was so self-conscious about it. But no one would support me. My parents wouldn't help me get it covered through insurance. They wouldn't give me their support. So I was pretty much on my own, just a kid going to hospitals in New Jersey to get it checked out. I did one appointment, but it never moved forward. In any case, I remember that walk into the hospital room where I was realizing if I get surgery on my chest, aren't I going to want to get surgery on every other imperfection of my body? Wouldn't it be the same thing? Because it was all for self-conscious reasons. So I said to myself, this is not the answer. Surgery is not the answer because there's so many other parts of me that are imperfect. I'm not going to get surgery on everything else. The next reason why I wouldn't get a Haler index is because I feel totally healthy, totally fine. And I don't want to waste my time or my life getting something that I have no interest in getting surgery. God forbid there is something wrong with me physically. Um, I don't believe that if I focus on something being there physically wrong, I can manifest it, I can create it. It's the same thing when you feel physically unhealthy. You can feel so much love in manifestation that you can heal yourself. And this sounds crazy, but we're at the tip of the iceberg of what we can do spiritually with love, energy, focus, and attention. So those are part of my beliefs of why I wouldn't get a Haler index. I really don't give a crap. I don't feel any pain. Thankfully, thank you to God, I don't feel any pain. This is my journey. Um, I hope you guys are doing well if you do have pain from your Haler index. I know personally the greatest pain is a self-conscious pain, not in regards to the physical pain as well, but the self-conscious pain is bad enough where it'll debilitate you. You can live 100 years. But if you're self-conscious and in your head, limiting yourself by your fears of your self-consciousness, that's worth that's worse than dying a fast death. It's better to live life limitless, self-consciousless, conscious of your higher self, your true self, and live in life. It's better to live that way for 30 years than to live 100 full years self-conscious. So I've done some pretty amazing things, fun things, wild things. I've lived some purpose. I have some fulfillment. Definitely a lot of pain too. I've lived in a lot of self-consciousness and limits too. But I'm happy to say, I mean, I've lived a decent life. And I'm, still according to, society standards at the bottom and probably not the best guy. I think deep down within, I've done a lot of spiritual good and I've lived a good life, man. It's not a perfect life, but I've lived a good life. And so, God forbid anything happens to me. It's funny, I did get hurt the other day with this. But yeah, man. So those are reasons why I don't want to get a Haler index. And it's just not in my forefront. My forefront to me is not the physical, it's the spiritual and the mental pain that keeps you back, that holds you back, that keeps you from living life. It's the barriers in here, not the barriers out here. The barriers out here have the power to create barriers in here. The barriers in here are more important than the barriers out here because this is what creates your life and your energy. So, what you have to do is realize that this is in control of your barriers out here. You can determine what this means. Oh, I got a hole in my chest. What does it mean? It means light is coming out. You might say, oh, it looks ugly. Or you could say, I'm only half ugly. This is half goes in, this half goes in. Oh, this half is regular. Or you could say, all right, my chest goes in. This just means I'm meant to be more of a man. Because now I'm going to stick my chest out even more, have even more confidence, and prove to men how to be a man with having limited circumstances, a limited chest. So it's all on how you create it up here that determines your reality, your outcome. Not out here, but in here that creates out here. In here is more powerful. In here is your life is created. Because even if you live out here, you say that this is what controls your life, it still has to pass through here. You still have to say that up here and feel that up here. And so this is what brings it to life. So, regardless, everything passes through here. And this is the motherboard. This is the main ship of what comes to life in your life. Whether it comes from the outside to here or from here to the outside, this is the father and the mother.